Hey, I'm back. I've got the motor torn down almost all the way, as you can see. I have been spending a lot of time cleaning, and so let me show you how dirty this engine is. So there's the motor. It has got in the oil, I don't know what they call it, just the lifter valley is just caked with goop. And so some research and some other folks are telling me that this may be indicative of water contamination or coolant getting into the oil and then just caking on. And so I have been losing this motor about every couple weeks. It would lose maybe a pint of coolant, and so I'd have to keep refilling it. So that may be the case. The heads are 706 castings, and they're supposed to be pretty good. But evidently there's a recall on these where there's a casting flow, and there's some cracks that can happen inside here. I don't see any cracks, but I may have them tested, or I may just replace the heads just in case. They've got almost 300,000 miles on them, so that's probably a worthwhile investment. I can show you I'm out here cleaning just the gunk off of, kind of all the external parts. These were just caked in black goop oil, and inside the oil pan, you can see all of this just sludge. And so when I did try and drain the oil out of this motor, I took the oil drain plug out and nothing happened. And I got really scared for a second, thinking, oh no, I forgot to put oil in it, or it leaked out and we didn't notice, or the oil level sensor broke, and it just didn't make any sense. So I jammed a screwdriver through the hole, and then the oil started pouring out. So we had oil pressure. It was just the drain plug was just blocked by this constant blob of goop everywhere. So I am just soaking it in some solvent and trying to clean it up and just get things clean. So that's what's going on for right now. So next stage, I am going to be power washing this to get all the sludge off of that. I have to go find a puller for this this crankshaft dampener, and we'll get this thing all cleaned up. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to BDB Garage. I am making some progress on my Suburban motor. As you can see, it is pretty darn clean here. That lifter valley that was caked in muck is pretty well cleaned out. Right now I am waiting on a bunch of parts from Summit Racing I'm not going to be racing in the Suburban, but they got decent deals on parts. So some what do they call it? The little bore brushes that clean out the cylinders and kind of I guess brush hones, some bearings, and all the miscellaneous parts that go into rebuilding the motor. I'm gonna put new lifters in because those were a few of those were ticking and sticking, and they were really hard to get out, and so I think it's just best to replace those. Got the cam bearings out, and those are getting pretty close to done. You can kind of see there's some copper showing through the bearings, so I think those are pretty well done. Everything else looks pretty good. This is a stock motor. It hasn't been rebuilt before, so it's not bored or line honed. You can kind of see the cross hatching. Well, maybe you can't see on video, but there's still a decent amount of cross hatching in the cylinders, and so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just gonna put it back together, clean it really well, put it back together, new gaskets, and make sure it doesn't leak. I've got the crankshaft here. Everything looks like it's stock sized. It's not been bored. One thing I do notice, if I'm not sure, is that there does appear to be some heat discoloration on this. I don't know if they call that a reluctor ring or whatever that is. So if you're watching this and you happen to know what that is and if that might be a problem, that would be good to know. Pistons appear to be pretty decent still. They're just dirty. I have new rings coming, although some of the oil compression rings are not, they don't seem like they expand into the cylinder head so very well. So I'm wondering if those are worn out a little too much, and so it's good to replace those. That might be why it was burning oil. So I did pick up new cylinder heads. Since there was a possibility of coolant getting into the oil, I figured it was just a worthwhile expense, because I don't want to have to pull them out again after I get them in the car if it starts leaking oil or leaking coolant into the oil again. So camshaft looks like it's in pretty good shape. I guess that's one nice thing about roller lifters, is that they don't wear out the cam quite as seriously as the flat tappet. So that's what that is, and I think that's probably all I got for an update right now. The block is really clean. All I did was I pressure washed the heck out of it, and a lot of brake clean and Berryman's carbon choke cleaner to get any varnish off. And then once it was clean, I had to really go to it fast with some WD-40 and oil to keep it from flash rusting. So actually, yeah, the other thing was a lot of that purple, what do they call it, purple degreaser, heavy duty cleaner. That stuff works really well if you can at least get a little bit of a brush and scrub it a little bit. So it came out pretty well. I think there's still a little bit of cleaning to do here. There's still a little bit of varnish, I think, that can come off. So we'll probably do that after I do the honing of the cylinders, and then we'll start putting it back together. We'll see. Thanks, bye.